Another windy day out there today. In fact, we had wind gusts near 50 miles per hour in spots, so it's causing a bit of an issue out there too with power outages across our region. About 3,000 folks without power right now because we had wind gusts near 53 miles per hour in Rhinelander. Wausau saw a gust near 40. So overall, this will die down tonight, and that wind is shifting out of the northwest, ushering in those much cooler, drier temperatures, right? All right, so here's the wind tonight to tomorrow. Tomorrow morning or so, around 10 to 15 miles per hour. We still can see a couple gusts tomorrow around 20, but overall much less windy than today. But it is doing this, right? The 80s are leaving us for now. They're being pushed over here into parts of really Michigan and eastern parts of Wisconsin. But we have 60s, cooler, drier 60s are on the way, and that's going to be hanging out with us for several days around here. In fact, check out these dew points currently. Dew points in the 60s, that's muggy air. That's being pushed over here to eastern Wisconsin. For us, 40s are on the way. That's very cool, dry air. So open your windows tonight and air out the house if you can. With temperatures hanging out near or slightly below average next 7 days around here. 65 tomorrow, 69 for Thursday. And then over the weekend, we're hanging out in the low to mid 60s again. That's not normal. We should be in the low to mid 70s this time of the year. Out there today, we had some cloud cover earlier, but then the sun came out again, and temperatures love sunshine this time of year, right? With highs back up near 80 today, and that really gusty west wind kicking in right now. So here's that big break in the cloud cover currently. And it's just really for parts of north central Wisconsin. There are more clouds across western Wisconsin now and eastern Wisconsin. But overall, we will get some more clouds in here tonight. The sprinkles and the chance for rain now has ended. But basically, we're in a drying out phase for several days around here. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies for a while overnight and still windy, but less windy than it was all day today, with low temperatures down near 47. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock. Nate.
Well, thank you, Jeff. As you can tell, we're doing today's show a little bit differently. Yesterday, we aired part 1 of our discussion with local Chamber of Commerce directors on how they plan to battle the labor shortage. Today, we're going to air the second part. We'll learn what solutions might be beneficial for the folks and businesses in north central Wisconsin, and we'll air part 2 right after the break.
I was out here all day yesterday and didn't get a bite. Got my bait at the other guy's shop. Where'd you get yours?
Kurt's Island Sport Shop, of course.
Kurt's Island Sport Shop, downtown Minocqua.
Wherever you are in life, Rasmussen University offers the flexibility and support you need to earn your associate's, bachelor's, or master's degree. Here in Wausau or online nationally at any time. With a dedicated advisor, mentoring, and career services before and after graduation, it's go time. You take the first step, and we'll help you take the next. Start now at rasmussen.edu. At Rasmussen University, green means go.
You won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
And Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin.
So when allergies attack,
take Allegra before your symptoms take over you. And for congestion relief, find Allegra D at your pharmacy.
Carpet City.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's grand opening sale and receive massive savings along with free carpet installation. Take advantage of grand opening savings at the brand new Eagle River store and all existing locations. Come see why builders and designers only choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs. And receive huge savings at the Carpet City Flooring Center grand opening sale.
Our prices will floor you.
The great experiences you have in here, even out here, all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power.
Visit your North Central Wisconsin GMC dealer.
All right, Scott, we're talking about local government now. And obviously, you know, your role is working closely with local governments. Where does that process begin? So my question first is, the biggest problem right now is with what group? Is it the college-educated blue-collar jobs, or is it the service industry? Where is the most need right now to attract and retain workers? And then how can local government help us achieve those needs?
Wow. Well, the need really stretches across all spectrums of employment. From my area in particular, in the Marshfield area, obviously given our healthcare focus, nursing and doctors, so healthcare workers are a critical aspect of what we're looking for. But we have a diversification with a number of manufacturers in the area, so we have a great need for welders, and we have a great need for logistics, from drivers to IT people working in the logistics field. So again, I think it's going to depend on area by area what the biggest need is in a respective employment sector. But knowing that there is need in each one of those sectors across the region is something. And so where do we start to try and address that? And going back to this aspect of what role does local government play in this? Part of that has to be education and information. So we need to make sure that they're informed of what the circumstances are that our employers are dealing with, so they better understand those conditions, and then how the decisions they make at local government levels impact what our employers are doing, and the decision-making process that our employers have to take in order to react to those local government decisions. So the best thing we can do is we act as that go-between. We're that party that provides them that information as to, this is what's happening with our labor market. This is what our employers are seeing. These are the concerns they have. This is what has to try and be addressed in order to help that. Because certainly local government officials want to have a strong, vibrant community, want to have strong, vibrant economies. So they're certainly willing to look and listen to those opportunities, and then be a part of the solution to doing that.
Right. And Scott, you touched on it a little bit. I mean, Clyde, I want to ask you then as well. Certain industries are being impacted. It feels like everyone's being impacted, but as someone who recently graduated from college in the last few years, I know people who graduated with a certain degree and they left the field entirely because they saw the dollar signs or they saw a better opportunity, what have you. How do we kind of get people back into, whether it's the trades, blue-collar industries, how do we sort of funnel people into saying, don't be leaving these jobs, like we need people to do these jobs as well? Where does that begin?
Well, it begins at the high school level. And I know that in Merrill we've got a Fab Lab, which is one of the best ones in the state, and currently they have an internship program, if you will. There's around 95 students that are working within the industry in Merrill, whether it's I'm not so sure they can be a welder, but I mean, whether it's in a bank, in the finance industry, or in other technical fields, that they're placing them there so they can see that these jobs are a great job, a great effort, whether it's building trades, and things of that nature.
Yeah, Michael, I feel like collectively we're saying things need to change. This group here certainly is on board with change needs to happen, right? I don't want to go doom and gloom, but if employers and local governments don't start changing, what does that road look like 10 years down the road?
It's going to be a problem. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The Workforce Solutions Summit is designed to get people thinking differently, because we need to make that change. We cannot stay status quo. If we're going, I believe that we've got a huge golden nugget here, and we don't talk about it enough. I believe our area is just a great place to live. And I mean, where else can you in 10 minutes be out in the woods? I mean, literally. I mean, I don't care what community we have. Literally 10 minutes, you can be hiking, biking, ATVing, UTVing, just taking a walk, in peace and quiet. That is a huge thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. And I think once we capitalize on that aspect, we will get people looking at us as a great place to live and work. And that's why I really focus on, it's the area. It's the combined area, the combined resources. If you want to say the natural resources of the area.
Yeah. Like that. When we return here on Up North at 4, we'll talk about how workplace culture could be shifting here in the near future.
At Cost Cutters, we got style. Whatever your style, we've got it right here. Save big this month at Cost Cutters. Buy one, get one half off on Paul Mitchell and Matrix Professional products this month.
Hit the green while taking in the beautiful backdrop of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Young's Golf and Recreation has a challenging course for all skill levels. With scenic views and a sprawling landscape, you'll feel like you're on your own personal course. Enjoy the 19th hole at the Firebrick Bar and Grill for unique pub-style food and drinks. Keep the fun going over a weekend with a cabin and pontoon rental on Chicagoan Lake. Experience Young's Golf and Recreation and get away today.
At our seminar, you'll find out how our high-intensity laser therapy can reset the pain cycle and erase the pain memory. Join us at 1 o'clock in Mosinee.
I was really surprised at how fast I saw results. Just a couple weeks, I was feeling so much better. They really want to help you.
Meet us June 14th in Mosinee. Call 844-200-PAIN to reserve your seat today.
Here's why it's smart to custom order your Ford SUV. We'll get to making it right away. You'll get an extra $500 order bonus. Plus, incentive protection guaranteeing you the best offer now or at delivery. And the features you choose. Want an EPA estimated 440 miles per tank in an Escape? A 12-inch touchscreen in an Edge? You got it in a Ford built your way. Order your new Edge or Escape SUV to lock in this special Flex Buy offer and get $500 retail order bonus cash.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists and has helped over 1 million people. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Love your career? Cost Cutters will support you in achieving your career goals. With competitive wages, great benefits, and up to a $2,250 sign-on bonus. Stop in or visit costcutters.com to find your nearest location.
Tara, obviously the Workforce Summit coming up on June 1st. You know, once we sort of all meet with the business owners, have these conversations, what is then the plan of attack? And I know it's not necessarily a black and white answer, but what are the next steps then for this group and for everybody?
I think just learning about these strategic tools we can use, new ideas coming out of maybe other businesses in other areas, just bringing those back and actually doing something with them, having some actionable things to go to and moments to go to and ideas to go through instead of just constantly talking about it, but then actually doing some things to get those things done. And I think that all of us can help with that in our areas and just keep this at the top of the mind with these businesses and, you know, bring in the tourism parts of it and things like that and just keep people in the area to see how great it really is.
Yeah, and Scott, this summit is about taking action. So it's coming up quickly. This is obviously, we've talked today, there's an immediate need to address and change how we look at employer relationships with employees. What are some action things we can take out of that summit immediately?
Well, based on the speakers we have at that, it's going to be a case of there's corporate culture aspects that our attendees can take out of that, and they can take those back to their businesses and start to implement those things that seem to make sense for their respective organizations and start to address that. From the aspect of what we do here as chambers and how we interact with our business members, the Central to Success program is something that we can immediately start to continue to focus on, and that's the actual recruitment and retention portion of attracting more talent here to Central Wisconsin. That's going to be the critical aspect. As we all know, best way to solve worker shortage is to have more workers, and so we need to take and start to implement those issues and be out recruiting people to this area. So there's a little bit of everything for our attendees to take out of that. It's up to them to take those pieces that seem to make the most sense for their organizations. But that's what the way we set the program up, was that to offer them corporate culture aspects, best practices aspects, recruitment and retention components. So those are all going to be part of something that they can take and utilize to their best abilities.
Very good. And Angel, this obviously is not an overnight fix, right? This is something that's going to take a while to sort of find that solution. Dave, you mentioned it might be 10, 15, 20 years we might be facing this issue, but how do we sort of plant the seeds now so that this is not something that is still an issue even further down the road, right? How do these solutions, these conversations happening now sort of help impact the future?
Right, so I think I would say rip the Band-Aid off, right? So start now. So you take one solution and then implement that into your business, or maybe a community or an organization that you serve. And then you take another piece and you take another piece. And then 3 years down the road, you're having a lot less problems than other communities and other organizations because you started now. And always communicating with your local chamber or your local government on issues that are impacting your business or your community is the best way to keep that conversation going. Because the worst thing that we can do is stop the conversation. We want to keep being open, and we want to keep sharing solutions and successes as Central Wisconsin, so that way we keep growing together.
Yeah, and Clyde, I think it's magical that the six of you obviously get along very well. You've shared your thoughts, you understand the issue, and you have a clear path as to how you want to fix it, right? Talk to me about, in the future, how do you keep this conversation going?
This is just the beginning. I think as we go forward, we're going to have more of these types of summits to take place. You know, the six of us, we know that the problem exists in Central Wisconsin. It's just a matter of organizing, like Scott mentioned before. We work together as a team versus individually. We want to continue that in that same vein and move forward and have more of these types of events take place.
When we return here on Up North at 4, we'll continue this conversation with the Chamber directors.
Mel's Trading Post, a downtown Rhinelander landmark locally owned for over 70 years. Get your spring and summer sporting goods with ease from our experienced staff and get expert advice. Come down and see our great selection, open 7 days a week for your convenience.
Violent and destructive riots in Kenosha, the Waukesha Christmas Parade tragedy, record-high homicides in Milwaukee. From defunding our police to releasing violent felons with low or no bail, liberal Democrats have created the worst crime wave in decades. Senator Ron Johnson is standing with our brave law enforcement officers to keep Wisconsin families safe, and he wants to keep violent criminals behind bars where they belong.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
The natural beauty of the Northwoods beckons us to play outdoors, but there is a visitor we must carefully avoid: ticks and the illnesses they carry.
I thought it was a tick bite, but my test was negative. Then I had months of joint aches, brain fog, and bad headaches.
Our medical staff is thorough, experienced, and focused on the patient.
One approach doesn't work for all. Treating a tick-borne illness requires experience in treating multiple symptoms and developing unique care plans. Call us today.
You won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So trees, you won't take me down. When allergies attack, take Allegra.
Before your symptoms take over you.
Live your greatness.
Mel's Trading Post, a downtown Rhinelander landmark locally owned for over 70 years. Get your spring and summer sporting goods with ease from our experienced staff and get expert advice. Come down and see our great selection, open 7 days a week for your convenience.
Dave, I'm curious then too, obviously we're talking to all of you folks, chamber directors, chamber presidents. You're going to be discussing solutions with business owners, but there's people out there who are neither, right? What should they take away from this? How are they going to be impacted? You know, the everyday guy like Jeff and I sitting here, right? What can we sort of learn from these conversations as well?
Right, so business and industry drive economic growth. They
build a product, they sell a product, which creates value, and that value exchange and then the public good is served through the taxes that run through the businesses to the public, to the people. And so this is going to impact everybody in our region, actually the state of Wisconsin. And for everybody at home, they need to understand that this is a long run challenge, and everybody needs to stand up and look at the problem and face it and be part of the solution. And if we don't do that, we are going to be under threat economically to support our public good in each of our communities. What's that mean? That means safe water. That means parks. That means public places where people enjoy. That is supported through revenues that are created through business and industry and spent down into the community. And without that economic growth with business and industry, without people that are, they have to bring in different. Everybody needs to know this. This is just not people that are going into the workforce. We need to bring in developmentally disabled people. We need to bring in disabled people. Everybody has a role to help solve this problem, and that's part of what this conference does, is to bring aspects of focus on those different aspects of pipeline, talent pipeline.
And Clyde, I want to talk infrastructure for a minute. Are there items, infrastructure in central Wisconsin missing that, if we had it, would be able to help us retain and attract more employees right now?
Oh, no doubt about it. It's a broadband issue. I mean, when you've got communities that are lacking broadband and internet access. Central Wisconsin, we had our Central Wisconsin days down at in Madison. We talked about that very issue, and there was a story that a lady told that she had to take her kids to the funeral home to access their internet to do their homework. And so it's a huge issue. If we ended up this, and this is where Dave was talking about, where the government has to get involved and be able to open up those broadband issues for everyone in the state of Wisconsin to attract the individuals that we need to be here for the quality of life that we offer.
Yeah, and obviously that is government related. Scott, you were mentioning too, having that relationship with local government. How much of that is just showcasing, like there is a need for it, like, you know, like Clyde was just saying, we have real life examples of people who are affected by this. Is it just a matter of getting that word out there more to the local government?
That's a start. Obviously, the first step in solving a problem is understanding you have a problem and then what that problem is. And so that again is where our organizations work as that go-between and have those interactions with local government officials to make sure that they have as good an understanding as possible on what those issues are that are impacting our economic well-being. And so that's what we try and do. We try and make sure that they're aware of what those issues are, at what level of priority it relates to the business community. And then we also help to try and say, look, here are some ideas for ways that we could perhaps go about trying to solve these problems as well. So it isn't just saying, hey, we got a problem, this is the problem. We're also trying to offer some solutions and some avenues to address these issues as well.
All right, Tara, June 1st, big day. Big day. I think the six of you in this room obviously have clear direction and a purpose to solve this issue. It's going to be convincing others, though, to buy into that vision, right? Which is never, ever easy for large groups of people. Are you ready for this challenge?
I think we're ready.
Okay. Very good.
Well, if this conversation is any indicator, I think you guys are all in the right step, and hopefully this does help the community at large sort of take those steps, finding those solutions. And of course, you know, Jeff and I, we appreciate you guys being able to sit down with us and have these talks.
Thank you.
It's not easy, right? It's not easy, but we got through it. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and of course, thank you for watching Up North at 4.
Love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight.
What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
It's Chevy Sport Utility Spring. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing or get a $1,000 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably served and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
Save today with 11% off everything at Menards. When you need a paint to fit your lifestyle, we've got you covered with our endless selection of color options. Right now, all Smart Coat paint is 11% off. Get unbeatable quality and satisfaction guaranteed with Cabot Premium Exterior Wood Stains and Finishes. Bring out the natural beauty for all of your wood projects. Get 11% off all Cabot Premium Wood Care products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
With less moderate to severe eczema, why hide your skin if you can help heal your skin from within?
Hide my skin? Not me.
Dupixent helps keep you one step ahead of eczema with clearer skin and less itch. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Is it time to update your driveway? Contact S&B Asphalt to blacktop your driveway. An update not only looks nice, but it saves on maintenance and adds value to your property. Seal coating and blacktopping residential driveways, commercial properties, and private roads. S&B is equipped for the job. With a strong reputation as an honest company with competitive pricing, you don't need to turn anywhere else. Call S&B Asphalt today for a free estimate.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Kitchen Bath Mart.
Hey, welcome on back. I know you're probably used to seeing Jeff and I on your screen before. We were down in Merrill last week. We hope you enjoyed that special, talking to all of those chamber directors, those presidents. I know Jeff and I had a lot of fun down there, just hearing some of the ideas, some of the solutions, hopefully coming to life here the next
This was
few
a group of people who are dedicated to solving this problem, right? This is a huge problem across the workforces across the North Woods because it affects every level of employment right now. So if we can solve this, we're going to have our economy take off even more than it is right now.
Yes, and we're hoping to maybe have more of these roundtable discussions in the future. So if you enjoyed this, let us know. If you didn't enjoy it, again, feel free to let us know. But hopefully you did, and hopefully we'll be doing some more of these in the near future. And again, the Workforce Summit will be taking place tomorrow down there in Wausau. So Jeff,
we got to go.
We do have to go.
We'll see you at 5 o'clock.
We'll see you later. Have a good one.
The heart is a blue.